Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at the information for this season 130 of the Tournament of Power, regrouping the route, the boost and the team building. You have timestamp in the video bar and description if you want to go to any specific section. We start with the route and we're gonna follow the yellow line as always. Around fight number 9 you're gonna have a branch, you can go to the left or to the right, but I think the right side is a little bit better in terms of planning. And at the end, you have fight number 12. I think the middle one is better because the one on the left has a revival unit, and you might not full KO with a revival because it has an extra HP bar. Now, let's move on to the tier list and the boost for this season. As you might know, there is a banner dropping next week. I'm not sure if it's gonna be impactful for the season boost. I don't think so because the last time this happened with the DB 40th anniversary banner that overlapped with the start of the Legend Fest. The Legend Fest character weren't added until the season after. But if you are worried or if you don't want to risk it, you can wait until next week on Wednesday and don't start your TOP until the new unit drops, and that way you're gonna be pretty safe and you have all the information with you. If there is a change to the tier list, I will make another video and a follow-up with all the different additions, but in general it's quite straightforward for this season. You don't have a lot of choices. If you have Legend Bardock in your team or in your box, you're gonna use him and he's gonna be in every fight. Then you're gonna move on to tier 2. Any character above 7 star, I would use him for this season. And if you can get one of the purple Zenkai, it would be great. Even Z1, it would be very helpful. Hopefully you have also the green pot Frieza maxed out because he's free to play. I'm not sure if the free to play event will be back by the end of the season. We will see on Wednesday next week. But I wouldn't start if you do not have him maxed out yet. Other than that, if you do not have Legend Bardock, you're gonna have one empty spot as your 8th character, and I would use that to help you in terms of your weakness. For example, if you have a low star Pycon, the red one, you might want to take a tier 3 red character to help you, for example Zenkai Bardock. If you have a low star blue character from tier 2, you can take a tier 3 that is high star for a blue, and he's gonna help you in your fights. Other than that, if you have Legend Bardock and you want to take a tier 3 as your 8th character, I would drop the EX Yellow Frieza or whatever character is low star for you in tier 2, and you can take a tier 3 that can help you for your color. We will go more in detail later on. For the top row, I've put a summary on the number of fights you're gonna need each color. You're gonna have red and purple where you need 3 fights with them color in the top row. Green is gonna be between 3 to 4 and blue between 2 to 3. For yellow, you're not gonna need that color at all, so it's not gonna be a very important color for the stars. Even a low star yellow is gonna be fine for this season, but all the others you're gonna need at least one of them high star for each represented color. And purple is the strongest for the season because you have two tier 3, two tier 2, sorry. If you are missing, for example, a red that is high star, maybe try to have one at least from tier 3. Same for blue or green. Now let's look at the fight specifics. I'm gonna put them on screen. You have fight 1 to 6 here. In fight number 1, you're gonna need some blues in the top row. Fight number 2 and 3, you're gonna need purples. Fight number 4 and 5, you're gonna need greens. Fight number 6, you're gonna need reds. Then you're gonna move on to fight number 7 with reds again. Fight number 8, you're gonna need I believe some greens or blues for this one. Fight number 9, you're gonna need some reds. Fight number 10, greens again. Fight number 11, purples. And the last fight, you're gonna need some blues in the top row. Now, let's move on to the team building. That's my team for this season. As you can see here, there is only 7 tier 2 characters, so I'm gonna use all of them. For this season, any of the characters you see on screen, if they are above 7 star, I would really advise you to use them. And if you have the new Legend Bardock, you're gonna use him here in the empty slot, or you're gonna use him instead of this Frieza because I'm not gonna use that Frieza that much this season. He has horrible stats. So if you have Legend Bardock, you can use him instead. or you can use him as your last character here. It's gonna depend on your box. If everyone is maxed out here, you can use Bardock as your last character. And if you do not have a high star team, your legend Bardock will replace Frieza, and that 8th spot is gonna be a tier 3 character that is gonna be helping you in terms of stats. Other than that, if you are missing any character of specific color, or if one of them is a pretty low star, what you're gonna do is replace him with a similar color from tier 3. For example, you don't have red Pycon, you're gonna replace him with red Bardock. If you do not have green Frieza, you're gonna replace him with a green, and so on. If you do not have the legend Bardock like me, or if you replace him with Frieza, this last spot, the 8th one, is going to be a character that will help you in terms of your weakness. So for example, if you have a low star red character in your team, for example, if this Icon is a 6 star, 7 star, and all the others are pretty high star, you're gonna have an 8th character that is a red from tier 3, for example, Zenkai Red Bardock. If you have like a low star Frieza here, the blue one, you're gonna have a blue character, for example, the Zenkai Super Saiyan Bardock, and that's the character I'm gonna be using because Frieza is the weakest of them all outside the EX yellows, but there is 2 of them, so I don't need a third yellow. And if you do not have like a green, or if your green put Frieza is low star, you can use a tier 3 green, and that's basically it for your team. If you do not have this LL Frieza, you can use EX Tora as his replacement. And if your Frieza LL is low star, but your Chilled is high star, you can keep Frieza and make sure Chilled is at least Zenkai 1, so your team can survive without a problem. That's basically it for the team building for this season. There isn't much to look for because there is a very restricted tag and we don't have a lot of option. Hopefully you understood everything in terms of replacement. If you have any question, let me know in the comment. I will answer them, and hopefully you're gonna make a great team. Now for the equipment, it's gonna be the same as always. You're gonna use a C equip on everyone, and you're gonna use a Clash equip on everyone. This equip will be only activated if the character is above 7 star. So if your character is below 7 star, you probably cannot use it. Use it any silver equip in that case. And the third equip is going to be a gold depending on the type of character. My Frieza is a support type, so I'm going to use this on him, which is the Vidal equip. That's all in terms of equipment. I'm gonna put here back the Bardock. Now let me show you my friendship. Everyone is a pretty much max friendship. I'm gonna work on this shield here. The Frieza, I'm not gonna use him in many fights, so I don't think I would friendship him. If you can friendship your low star character, or if you do not have too many low star or their equivalent star, I would friendship like this 3 character in the top, the 2 port Frieza and the red Pycon, because you do not have a lot of choices for them colors. Other than that, here is my art boost. I think the only art boosted character is Pycon and the Frieza here, because I used them before in the OTOP format, but you won't need art boost in general. That's basically it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any question, let me know in the comment. And on Sunday, we're gonna do the gameplay and walkthrough. I'll show you how to position and target for each fight. Next week, we're gonna have a new banner. I don't think the new character will be boosted, but you never know. So to play it safe, and if you don't want to risk it, maybe do not start until Wednesday. And you have 2 attempts. If you started for your first attempt, maybe keep your second attempt for next Wednesday, so like that you are safe and you know if the new characters are boosted or not. Have a good one, and goodbye.